Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see serialize and deserialize a binary tree problem which is from LeetCode number 297. So let us get started. Before looking at the problem, I would like to announce our DSA and System Design course, which is a live course and it will be starting in February. So it is a guaranteed preparation in limited time. So if you want to know more about this course, then you can WhatsApp on the given number and we will provide you with all the details. So let us get started with the problem. Now in this problem, serialize and deserialize a binary tree. Serialization is the process of converting a data structure or object into a sequence of bits so that it can be stored in a file or memory buffer or transmitted across a network connection link to be reconstructed later in the same or another computer environment. So they have explained what is serialization and why do we actually need it. Now we are required to design an algorithm to serialize and deserialize, that means encode and decode a binary tree. There is no restriction on how your serialization or deserialization algorithm should work. You just need to ensure that a binary tree can be serialized to a string and this string can be deserialized to get the original tree structure. Okay, so this is the original requirement. Now let us look at some examples in order to get a better understanding. Now let's assume that this is our given tree. So in this binary tree, if we want to serialize it, then let's take the most intuitive way to serialize. So let's say that I will do the pre-order traversal, that means any tree traversal, and I will try to get all the numbers and maybe write them side by side. So serialization is a process of sequentially writing your entire data. Okay. So if I do the pre-order on this, pre-order traversal, I hope you know that. So if we do the pre-order traversal on this, then we get on the pre-order traversal, we first get 1, then we get 2, then we get 13, 14 and then 5. So if we write it in this order, this is the first way in which I have shown. If we write it in this order, I mean it looks fine. From the tree you can write the pre-order, but if you look at the pre-order, can you get this tree structure? So given only this pre-order, you will not be able to get the tree structure. There are several reasons to this. If you can look at it, in this pre-order, first thing is you cannot make out what is the number of nodes. Okay, you cannot make out the number of nodes because it can be entirely a single node where this entire thing is just a single number, or it could have been 2 nodes where one number was 1213 and another number was 145. There could have been 3 nodes where one number was 12, another was 13, and the third one was 145. So since we did not define any delimiter, so we do not actually know what are the node values and what are the number of nodes and how actually the node values are distributed. Okay, so we cannot just write it like this and get the entire tree structure. So the first thing we understood is we need to have delimiters. Okay, so we cannot just write like this. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, so if we write using delimiters, then you will get this kind of a structure: 1, 2, 13, 14, 5. Okay, now even if we use delimiters 1, 2, 13, 14, 5, given this pre-order, what are the informations we can get? So the first information we get is what is the number of nodes. So the number of commas plus 1 will be the number of nodes. So in this case we have 5 nodes. Okay, we know the number of nodes now. And we also know what are the values of each node. So 1, 12, 13, 14 and 5. All these are the node values. So we know the number of nodes and we also know what are the node values. But if we have just these two information, then can we uniquely construct back this tree? So if you just think about it, then you will get to know that you cannot actually construct this tree, because if you are thinking that by just getting the number of nodes and the actual node values, if you can construct this tree, then you are totally wrong, because I can also make a pre-order, the same pre-order using a different tree. Let me draw another tree structure for the same pre-order. So I can draw something like this: 1, 2, 13, 14 and 5. Okay, so if we do pre-order on this, this is a skewed tree. So if we do pre-order on this, we will get 1, 2, 13, 14, 5, 1, 2, 13, 14, 5. So they have exact same pre-order, but the structure is totally different. Okay. So structure wise, we want to construct the same tree back from the given pre-order or from whatever is your serialized data. From there, our requirement is also to construct the unique tree. But just by knowing the number of nodes and all the values, all the unique values of all the nodes, we cannot actually construct this entire tree. What was the reason? The reason was that I don't know about the null pointers. I don't know where the null pointers are actually occurring. If I can define that 2 is actually a leaf node, then if we can define 2 is a leaf node, then obviously 13 cannot be a child of 2. That cannot be possible. So 13 has to go here, right? If I can define that 2 children are present for 13, okay, so seeing the pre-order, I can easily guess the next number, which is the left child of 13, which will be 14. And if I know that 14 has 2 null pointers, that means 14 is a leaf node. So obviously 14 will not be pointing to 5. Okay. So in this way, we can keep on guessing and we can easily construct the unique tree, whatever we wanted. Okay. So we have to also track the null pointers. Fine. So what did we learn? The first thing is we need to get the number of nodes and all the unique values. For that reason, we used a delimiter. In this case, I will use comma. You can use any delimiter you want. Okay. So I have used comma. Now the second thing you need is, even though you know the number of nodes and all the unique values of the node, you have to track the null pointers. Null pointers, that means you have to track the leaf nodes and the non-leaf nodes. And if the left pointer is null and the right pointer is not null and all those things. Okay, so all the information about the null pointers, you have to track them out. So in order to track the null pointers, we can use any special character in our traversal. Okay, so let's see how the serialization can be done. So let's define null with a special character, and I will be using star as the special character in this case. Now we will use the delimiter comma just to separate out the numbers, just to separate out the unique node values. We will use a delimiter. Second thing, we are using a special character star to define all the null pointers. Okay, so if we do that and if we follow the pre-order on this entire tree, so let's try to do the pre-order. So first we reach to this 1. When we reach to this 1, then in the pre-order I will first write 1. Now in the pre-order traversal, we process the node and then we make the left call and then we make the right call. I hope you know these things. So once the processing is done, in this case the processing is nothing but printing the node, and I know that I want to separate, that means separate it out from the next node value. So I will always put a comma after printing the node value. Okay, so I will write 1 comma and then I will make the left call. So I'll reach to 2. As soon as I reach to 2, I'll print 2 and then put a comma, make the left call. I will go to null. So whenever I hit a null, I will put a star there and I will go back. Okay, so I will go back. I am going back to 2. Now when I go back to 2, I will make the right call and I am again reaching to null. So whenever I reach to null, I will put a star there and I'll go back to 2. So now processing was already done. Left call is done, right call is done. So I will go back to 1. Now make the right call. We have reached 13 for the first time. Okay, so print 13 here and then put a comma and make the left call. We have reached to 14 for the first time. So print 14, put a comma. Okay, and then make the left call. Now we have reached to the null node. So when we reach to the null node, we have to put a star there. Go back to 14. Make the right call. And when we reach to null, again put a star there. Again go back to 14. And since we have processed 14 and we are done with the left and the right subtree processing, we will go back to 13. Make the right call. We have reached 5 for the first time. So I'll print 5 and I'll put a comma. Make the left call. This is a null, so put a star. Go back to 5. Make the right call. This is null, so we'll put a star. And we will again go back to 5. Okay, and from here go back to 13, from here go back to 1, and you are done. This is how the pre-order traversal will be done, and this is how you will keep saving the values. So by printing here, it means that we can save it in a string. Okay, so we can save the pre-order in the string, and this is how the string will look like. So I have already written the serialization here. You will see that it is the same serialization. Now in this case, you can always guarantee that since each number is always followed by a comma, therefore whenever you are pointing to any position, let's say you are pointing to this position, you can extract the entire number, because all of this is in the string format, right? So you have to extract each of the node values by using a while loop. So in order to extract a number, you can give the while loop condition to end at comma. I will show this in the code how this is done. Okay. Now this serialization string will always end by a star, because the last node will always have its right pointer or left pointer pointing to star values, I mean null values, right? Obviously. So that means this entire serialization string has to end with a star. So we will not be checking for the star cases. Now this is how the serialization will be done using pre-order traversal of the binary tree. I hope this is done. Now the pre-order traversal takes order of n time. So the serialization also takes order of n time. Each node has been traversed maximum 3 times. And processing at each node is just order of 1 operation. Okay. Now let's see how to deserialize this string. So once we know that this is my serialized string, then I think it will be easy to find the deserialized string. So we have to uniquely construct the tree, and we will get the starting of the node. I mean the starting of this entire data. So whenever we are pointing to any value, we have to extract the entire number. So in this case, the number will come out to be 1, and we have to make a node out of it. Okay. So when we use a loop, we will obviously be breaking at the comma, and we have constructed a node and assigned the value. Now how do we extract a number? So let's take a number 12. So we will start at 1. So we take a number equals to 0. Multiply it by 10 and add 1 to it, and we get 1. We go to the next number. So the digit weight of this 1 will increase. So initially it was 1's digit, and now it is the 10's digit, and this 2 is at 1's digit. So we take the number again, multiply it by 10 and add the current digit to it. So this becomes 12, and this is how you can keep it growing, right? If you have 13 here, so you go to the next one, you take the number which was 12, left shift it by 1 digit. Left shifting by 1 digit is multiplying by the base of the number system, and then add 3 to it, and this will become 123. So this is how you can extract the number, or in C++ you can easily use string to integer function and pass your string 123 to get integer 123. Okay. This is one way to solve it. Now let us say that our serialized string is already given, and we want to actually construct the unique binary tree. So we had extracted number 1 using a while loop. So let's say my pointer is I pointer, and this entire string is data string. Then I can write while. I'll write while data at I not equals to my delimiter, which is comma. And I can keep on adding. If I had a string as number, which is an empty string, so I can write number dot append or number dot pushback data at I, and this will keep on adding all the digits one by one to the number string, and I will do I++. So after that, my number will be having string 1, and I can use the string to integer function on the given number to get the integer output as 1. Okay. This is also one way to solve it. Now let us say that you know how to extract the number. So these all things will be shown in the code. Let's say you know how to extract the number. So you have extracted 1 and assigned a node for it, and then we will be making the left call, and then we will be making the right call. Remember that this is a pre-order traversal. So whenever we reach for the node, whenever we reach to the node for the first time, we will actually have to make a new node. We will be skipping all the comma characters. So whenever we make a call for position +1. So let's say this is the position pointer, not the I pointer. Just for the sake of this code, I have named it I, but let's say this is the position pointer. Whenever I make the left call, I make a call from position +1. Okay, so all these data are actually trimmed out. So we can also use a substring function to trim out all the data. So your data part only contains this part. Okay. Now when you are at 2, you extract that number. We had made the left call on 1. So when you see 2, you make a note 2 and you will be at this comma. So again, skip this comma and make the left call on this 2. So when you make the left call, you will see that it is a star. So whenever it is a star, it will be a null pointer and return null value. So 2's left will be pointing to null. Now we do not skip any character in this case when we see a star. Okay, so whenever we see a star, you just trim out this part. Okay, trim out this part, and our new data value is this one. You can trim out using the substring function. So currently I am pointing to this point and I am making the right call. Now while making the right call, you can see that it is again a star pointer, a star, which is a special character. So again it will be returning null. So 2's right pointer will also be null. You will trim it out. You trim it like this, and your data part will be starting from 13, and your position pointer will be pointing to this 1, not to 3 but to 1. Now since we are done with both the left and right call for 2, I will go back to 1 and I will make the right call on 1. When I make the right call on 1, my position pointer is at 1. Extract the entire number. So I'll use the while loop to extract the number, and I will reach to comma, and I would have extracted 13, so I'll put here 13. Now I will make the left call and I will have to skip the comma. So when I skip the comma, it will totally be trimmed and my data part will start from 1. So I will again extract the number and end up at this comma, and 14 will be inserted here, and again I will make the left call by trimming out till this comma, so my position pointer will be pointing to star. So when this is star, it will return null, and then again trim it out and we will be pointing to this star. So when we make the right call, it will be null, and this will also be returning null value. Again trim it out, reach to 5. So since we are done with both left and right call for 14, it will return to 13 and it will make the right call now. So I will extract the number. So I'll reach to this comma and 5 will be extracted and 5 will be put here. And then again I will make the left call. So I'll trim out till this comma. I'll be pointing to the star, and the star denotes that it will be null. So return null. Again trim it out and reach to the second star, and this will denote this is also null and return null to it. And then you will see that eventually your data part is actually gone. This is empty string now. Empty string. So as soon as data part is empty, you will end your entire process. And if you see, this is the actual binary tree structure which we wanted. This was the actual binary tree structure which we wanted, right? So if we can get the same binary tree structure, that means the unique binary tree structure was given, I wrote it in a sequential manner in such a way that I was able to extract the same binary tree structure. If this can happen without any loss of information, then that serialization and deserialization process is 100% lossless, right? This is the entire goal of this problem, and I hope you were able to understand it. So in this case, we are actually traversing this entire string one by one, and if I consider that substring popping of elements is order of 1, if I assume that, if I ignore the time complexity for substring operation, then this will again be order of n, right? So both the serialization and deserialization traverses entire node only once, or you can say 3 times, because we are doing actual tree traversals. So that is why order of n time complexity is taken. Let us now look at the code implementation. If you can see the diagram on the left side, this is the same diagram which I had taken, but instead of 3 I had taken 13, and instead of 4 I had taken 14. So if I give the input accordingly, then you can see that this will be the standard output. After serialization, this will be the string which I have printed in this line number 26, and the corresponding outputs are also given. So let me go through the code line by line. So in this case, the first API was to serialize, second API was to deserialize. So in the serialization part, we will just be given the root of the binary tree and we have to traverse the entire binary tree. So I have used the pre-order traversal, pre-order tree traversal, which is a DFS technique. So I will take an entire empty string which will be containing my serialized data, and then I will call the pre-order traversal on this. I have named it DFS. Now I will pass the root of the tree as well as the string which will be containing the serialized data by reference. Okay. Now if current does not exist, that means current is null, then we are actually pushing back star and then going back like the way I had explained. And if the current pointer is not null, then I will have to append it into my string. What will I append? I will have to append the entire value followed by comma. And once the current node has been converted into the string, has been serialized, then I will make the left call and then I will make the right call. This is a proper pre-order traversal. Okay. So if we take this example and if we just do the serialization on this, where 3 is actually replaced by 13 and 4 replaced by 14. So you will get this kind of an output in the string. Okay, so this I had shown while explaining. Now, how to deserialize it? So the second part of my explanation was actually how to do 100% lossless deserialization. Now in this case, if the data size is less than equals to 1, why less than equals to 1? Because if the tree was entirely empty, if you had no root node as well, then your entire serialized string S would have contained a single star, which means the entire tree just contains a null pointer. There is not even a root. So in that case, your data size will be 1 and not 0. Okay. So let's say that it is a valid tree. So we will try to decode it. Now let's see the decode function. In this case, I will be passing the data, and if the data size is 0, that means the entire conversion is done. Entire building of the binary tree is done. If it is not 0 and if the data at the current position is star, that means we are actually at a null pointer. So we will trim it out. We trim it out using the substring function. We take out the star. So substring at 1 means take out the 0th index value, whatever it was, and take the entire string from the first index till the last index. So if I had written something like this, then the result of it will be just trim it out and then get from index 1, get everything from index 1 to the last index into the data. Okay, so this is the meaning. Now once the null pointer is also done, if it is not a null pointer, then I will take a position pointer starting from the first index. Okay, and then I will take a number which will be containing the entire extracted number, and I said that I will only end when we encounter a comma. So I save the entire number in number. Like if we had something like this, 12 followed by comma, star, and maybe 14 or something, then I will move my position pointer. This is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will end only when we see comma, because I know that while serialization, after each number I had stored a comma after that. Okay, so I will take string 12 and save it, and now I will use the string to integer function to convert into integer 12. There is stoy function for this, or I had also explained you how to convert it in using mathematics. Okay, you can also do that. Once this is done, we have to trim the data. That means this part is done, so we have to trim it out, and the next 0th index will be this one. So this will be my new string star 1 4, and this will be passed into my left call. Okay, and then whatever is left from the left call processing will be passed on to the right call. So this data is by reference, so whatever changes are made in the subtree will be reflected in the other subtrees and also to the ancestors. Right, I hope you understand. After that, we will return the current pointer, whatever node 12 we have made, we will return it to the calling function. So this is how the entire serialization and deserialization will work, and this is completely order of n for both the APIs. I hope you guys were able to understand. If you have any problem, then do comment below and I'll try to help you as soon as possible. If you would like to know more about the live course, then you can connect us on WhatsApp and get the full information and also clear out your doubts. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.